we are welcoming to the studio Mr. Zak Abel. Hello.
Hello.
There it is, bucket of fish. How are you, sir?
I feel amazing after being clapped on as well. That was lovely.
Yeah.
That was lovely. Also,
Great,
I feel very lucky because I showered today using the shower gel that I got on your show.
Oh,
So,
my God.
I'm smelling of Moroccan rose.
Okay. When were you on our show?
This was just before the tour, so a month before the tour.
So September?
September. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a lot of showers going on, I'm thinking. That shower gel's still good.
No, I had to finish the last one before I started that one.
Of course.
Now I'm firmly in your shower gel season.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So you were on the TV show. We were blown away by you. You were terrific. And then you went off on your tour. How did that go?
It was incredible. Yeah. It's the biggest tour I've ever done, and so many familiar faces, new faces, place I've never been to, never toured before, and just feeling very, very grateful. There was one show actually, which was the Glasgow show, where I was like, make some noise if you are here because of Graham Norton, because you saw me on his show, and literally half the room was like, yeah!
Oh,
they found out.
I wonder where that story was going. And you know what? No one said anything.
No one said anything. They'd never heard of you. No. It was.
The show was on very late in Scotland. In my defence, they show it very late.
So
there.
thank you for allowing those Scottish people to find me, is what I want to say.
Well, listen, I was delighted to find you. Really, really terrific sound. The album is gorgeous. Love Over Fear. But Love Over Fear, it was produced by Fred Ball.
Yes.
Who's a very, people, explain who Fred Ball is, people don't know.
So Fred Ball is a Norwegian legend. He produced Love on the Brain for Rihanna. He makes all of his music from his garden studio in Kilburn, and I had the pleasure of recording and making this song with him. But I actually wrote it with two different people, one called Fiona Bevan and the other one called Nick Ruth. Fiona Bevan did a really big One Direction song back in the day. I can't remember which one it was, but she's an incredible writer.
That she knows.
She knows, yeah. She and her house knows.
And so how did you hook up with Fred Ball? How did that happen? Did he find you? Did you find him?
So, this is going to sound really nerdy, right? But this song is in 3/4, right? It's a timing.
Is this the song you're about to play?
Cry.
Cry. Cry is in 3/4. Okay.
It's in 3/4, so it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1,
A waltz.
2, 3.
A waltz.
In a way, yeah.
Nice.
And I was thinking, what's a song that I really like in 3/4? And it was Love on the Brain. And we're like, who did that? And we're like, Fred Ball. So I was like, all right, let's hit him up, see if he wants to do this song. And he said, yeah. So that's how it happened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because Love on the Brain is like, must be love on.
We are getting a music education this morning, ladies and gentlemen.
That's the guy.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. And the Lover for that. So this has been your first tour for 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
And how long was it between the last album and Love Over Fear?
Ooh, 6 years.
Yeah.
It was a while.
And is that because you talked about this on the show, that you had
Yes.
your own health struggles with your hearing and stuff?
Yes.
Was that all? That was all in that delay.
That was a big factor. Yeah.
Yeah.
It took some time to kind of get my stuff together.
Yeah.
But eventually I did, and yeah.
And how are you now? Are you okay?
Yeah. I'm managing. I've got my hearing aid in my left ear, and that works. And
Yeah.
I've had an operation on my right ear, and that just about works as well. And yeah.
Yeah, and you were talking on the show that is the tinnitus, is it constant?
It is constant. Yeah.
I mean, the mind boggles. I think I said this on the show. That, we're listening to you sing these songs, and it just sounds so beautiful. And you're hearing them, but with tinnitus as well.
If anyone has tinnitus that's listening, I got some really good advice that I'd love to share. If that's
please,
okay.
please do.
Because I know it can be a really difficult thing to go through, and you can feel like you're going mad, and you don't know what to do, and you can't escape it. So there's almost this claustrophobia.
Yeah.
A bit of good advice. So the tinnitus is real. It's there 100% of the time. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's important. If you think about your nose, it's in your visual field 100% of the time. It's real, right? It exists.
Yeah.
But it's not important. in
Yeah,
terms
so
of
you
this
don't need to
conversation.
you don't need to focus on it. Yeah.
It's there all the time,
Yeah.
but we just don't think about it. And the same thing is true with tinnitus. I found the best way, and from other people who have tinnitus, they say the best way to get over it is to fully accept it and just get used to it. And it's incredible what your brain will tune out when it doesn't think it's important anymore. So I just wanted to share that.
No, that's a brilliant way of looking at it. And like, presumably now you are in that place, but was it hard to sleep with it? Could you, like, if you lie down and it's quiet in the room, is that all you hear?
Yeah, at first I thought there was an aeroplane above me because it's kind of like that kind of thing. And I thought, yeah, it's a weird time for airplanes to be going over this area. I didn't even know this was on their flight path.
I live in such a lovely area. What are they doing here?
But eventually, yeah, I think it's difficult when you're stressed. It's louder when you're stressed.
Okay.
And it's even louder when you're stressed about tinnitus.
Yeah,
That's the worst one.
Yeah, I can imagine, yeah.
And so, I think anyone who's had it will relate to that feeling.
Do you remember a time when you didn't have it?
Oh, yeah. It started when I was 21.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was in bed, laying on one side of the pillow, and there were roadworks outside my house, and I remembered really distinctly if I laid on one ear, I could hear the roadworks, and if I laid on the other ear, I couldn't hear them. And I was like, what the hell? What's wrong with my hearing? And I would be sent songs to give feedback on the mix, and I'm like, why is the vocal panned to the right, in the mix? And they're like, it's not, it's in the center. I'm like, oh, right, let me get my hearing checked. And then,
wow.
yeah, it all kind of happened quite quickly at 21.
And presumably in this, between 21 and, a few years ago, was there a time when you thought, my dream is over? I'm not going to be able to do this.
Yeah, 21 was, I was actually looking at pictures of my 21st birthday, and it was the darkest time in my life ever, because I left school early I dropped out of school to do music.
Yeah.
I stopped my fruitful table tennis career to do music.
UK number one.
Yeah.
No, seriously, professional table tennis player. Yeah.
And I was like, man, I've got about 3 months of rent money left, and I've just lost my hearing, and my record label just told me it would be cheaper for them to let me finish the album than to drop me. And I was like,
nicely put.
Nicely put.
Yeah, that is lovely.
But somehow I got used to it, and luckily had some good people around me, and was able to continue making music.
Well, it's an unbelievable story, Zak, and I'm so glad it's had this happy ending. Zak Abel, I'm sure people out in Radioland are falling in love with you. Love Over Fear is the second studio album. You can get 2 of those tracks on there, Cry and Woman. What's next for you?
So I'm actually doing a charity concert to raise money for a mental health charity on the 8th of Feb in London. It's at Union Chapel.
Gorgeous venue.
There's me and 3 other singers, Sonny Tennant, Ethan Hodges, and
James Nesbitt?
James Nesbitt.
Yeah, very good.
We will be singing some songs.
Hugh Bonneville, I think, might be there as well.
Okay, well, I hope he comes.
We can't promise.
I think it's like 22 quid a ticket or something. All the money is going to charity.
Cheap as chips, and a gorgeous venue to hear you in.
And we're raising money for an incredible charity called Bed Air. 8th of Feb, London, if you're around.
Oh, well sold that, man.
Thank you.
Zak Abel, I can't thank you enough for coming in on a Saturday morning and doing this. I honestly, I feel cheated now that I'm going back to stupid records. I want a live person to play for me all morning. Thank you very much. Congratulations on everything, on your wedding, on the tour, on the album, and we can't wait to hear what you do next. Thank you very much. Zak Abel, everybody! Yay!